Ladies and gentlemen, it's Moses and welcome to Build Curious. And for the first time today, we are in InZOI. Or is it InZOI? I actually don't know. But here's our lot, and we are going to build something in this narrow space. Now, because I don't really know the building system for this game, I'm going to stick to something simple, and I'm going to use a little bit of reference just to help me get going. So of course, the idea is something narrow that can fit in the space and also would kind of fit in with the rest of this beautiful beachfront property. So as far as the shape goes, it's not going to be anything special, just rectangular, but also a little bit modern. So as always, first things first, let's box out our shape. So if there's one thing that I find challenging, or that I think I'm going to find challenging, it's going to be sense of scale. In The Sims, it's quite easy to see each block size. But also, when I look in this game, it seems like the blocks are a little bit smaller. And I don't mean these little tiny ones. I mean, like, I think 4 of them together would probably make one block in The Sims. And even so, that's quite small. So trying to get the sense of scale accurately is going to be challenging. There are kind of like these blue grid lines that appear as you go. So to an extent, it's a little bit easier to kind of get the idea of distance. So I'm not 100% sure, but I think perhaps something like this. I think what I want to do also is just raise the level of the walls. Okay, well, that was easy. All right, so I don't know if this is the most effective way to do something like this, but I've constructed some elaborate thing here to make steps. Maybe if we can raise, there we go. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? In a way, you kind of got to shorten things. Like in The Sims, you just kind of click on this wall, drag it as I am now, and then boom, that'd be that. But here, you're kind of just stuck with these weird pieces afterwards. It's not so bad, don't get me wrong. But I guess there's one or two things that hopefully they, figure out as they go. But to be clear, I am most certainly looking forward to what this game has to offer. And I think we all need to kind of just keep in mind, it's alpha and they're brand new to the block. And not only that, but Sims has been around for such a long time. I was trying to find where the gates were because I don't know, I'm lost. But then I found these cool room presets. And man, there's so many and they look so interesting, and it just gives me so many ideas and things like that. But anyway, so now they do have room presets as well, like in The Sims. Don't think I'm going to be using any of them though, also just like in The Sims, but it's cool that they have. So yeah, I was thinking of like a half wall, kind of like this. So we can't actually mix different wall heights together, it seems, at least when it comes to partial walls. Okay, so something like this, and grass tile. I'm just going through like what kind of plants and stuff to put in here, and I'm quite surprised at the way they have arranged some of the stuff. It's kind of like The Sims, but one thing, interesting enough, they have a category called growing plants. So I guess something a little like this. I'm not going to actually focus on this little garden too much. I just kind of wanted to see what our options were. So we'll get back to this. That's also kind of really unfortunate. It seems like if it goes over that like raised foundation, it doesn't want to place the window. Right, so this is kind of the shape, I guess, that we're going to go for. I'm not quite sure on the length of this. We'll have to, either increase its size or make it smaller depending on what we're going to do on the interior, which I would like to figure out. And then also at the top here, I would like to have like some sort of terrace where there is mainly just half walls here at the top to cover it up. So like something, of that nature. So I think what I would perhaps like to do first before doing too much of the actual shape of the building. Normally I would finish the exterior and then start doing the interior, but because scale for me feels so uncertain, especially because I don't know the furniture size, yeah, that all just seems a little bit off to me. I'm going to actually start with the interior first. I'm going to figure out, where I want things and kind of how big those rooms ought to be. So let me start with the interior first and then kind of push and pull the house as I feel it's needed. So because we're limited on space, my plan is to do this. And I think it could actually be quite beneficial and look pretty cool. But we're going to go compact. So on the left side here by the window, we'll have our living room or sitting room, whatever you want to call it, with a TV or something in there. And over here in this little hallway, I guess it's kind of a hallway, we'll have a compact dining room. And then over here at the back, we'll have the kitchen. There is unfortunately no bathroom, but it's very possible that we could fit one in under the stairs, just a toilet at least. I'm going to still test that out. Upstairs, I'm not so sure just what I want to do where, but this is definitely a toilet. I know that much. This could be a bedroom or it could be an office space or a second bedroom, I suppose. And then I want to do another one over here. We'll figure that out when we get there. But for now, I think the best thing to do would be to start with the downstairs area. I'm not sure what I'm going to do first. I don't even know what items there are. I've literally not looked at them. This is my first time. Okay, let's just take a look what there is and see kind of an overall shape that we can come up with. Words cannot describe how nice it is to finally be able to choose a specific texture and a color for a couch. Definitely the chairs that I want, but not the layout. I think that's kind of everything, but for some reason I just feel like something's missing. I don't know what. An office appliance. I don't know. Is this a money machine? Is it possible to have a toilet under the door? I'm just not sure what door to use here. Does it matter? Of course it does. Double-lined door. I don't know, man. Hey! Yeah, it works. All right. Great stuff. I think just to add a little something to that corner. I'll be honest, I'm definitely struggling to decorate and such because of the limited amount of choices and things, which should be changing soon. I'm not sure if they will allow people to create their own custom 3D models and import it. I don't quite know how that system works. I know some people are scanning things and bringing them into the game. So I'm not sure if modeling something and bringing it in will also be a possibility. Because in that case, I do have 3D modeling skills. Maybe not the best, but I can do some pretty decent stuff, and I wouldn't mind, making a few things of my own and bringing it into the game and sharing it as well. So I think I'd like to maybe move this table up against the wall. I don't know, it just seemed a bit boring with it kind of just being dead center in the middle with a car. I also didn't like the carpet, honestly, that much. So I'm gonna try to, I don't know, just do something a little more interesting. I can honestly not tell you what though. And what's really annoying is it seems like because I used the 3.75 walls outside, that wherever I try and use the 2.85, boom, it just creates a bigger wall. I want to do this one, but these chairs are fighting me? Why? No way. This table doesn't allow you to put a chair at the head of it? Or what if we tried a different table? Is it maybe just that one? Oh, this is bad news. Okay, look, if this table doesn't work, right, then I don't know. No ways. You you cannot put chairs at the head of the tables. Glass. Oh, you can do that? Oh my soul. What is going on? That's okay. Really interesting. But no, I was actually not aware that the kitchen stuff had so many interesting items. Like, I'm not sure why the steelbook organizer is here. There we go. I think this looks a little bit more interesting than what it did before. What can we add to that? And then perhaps if we have a wool carpet over here. It's almost there. Look, it's getting there. It's definitely looking a whole lot better. I do need something for this corner though. I was thinking of a bookshelf, but I don't really like the bookshelves that they have because they're either a bit too big or much too big. I mean, this is a nice bookshelf, but damn. Or it's this, or it looks like something that's supposed to be in a store. So a lamp will have to do. Also, perhaps there's too much consistency in the color of my wood. So there we go. So we have our kitchen on an elevation, but I was wondering, what if we made a bit of a multi-elevation? So perhaps we can do multi-elevation like this instead. It kind of just makes the room look a little bit more interesting, I think. And when in doubt, push it out. No, but seriously, we don't we don't have much in terms of choice at the moment. And we've changed the lighting a bit. It's not bad. I think maybe it's like too warm, you know? Too cozy. I'm not sure. It does fit the theme, but perhaps I need to make some adjustments. But interestingly enough, when you play from overhead like this, you don't notice the lighting really. It kind of just gives a general level of lighting throughout the entire house. Again, it's that problem of not being able to place something on the wall if it's between two different elevations. All right. And that is everything done on this floor and inside the house, as a matter of fact. All that's left is our balcony and our terrace. Also, something I hope can be fixed because it makes no sense as to why not, right? Pretty cozy looking, I think. I added this thing over here. I think I might keep it. You guys should let me know in the comments what you think, if that's a bit out of touch. There is a lot of empty spaces, like this here in particular, that I'm not sure what to do. And it's really, really challenging when there's so few items currently in the game. But before we spend any more time, I think on the dining room, we should go to the kitchen. I will kind of figure out what to do with this wall after I do the kitchen or just a bit later. But I think for now, it's safe to move on to our kitchen. Before going into the kitchen, I decided I actually really do just want to try and finish this area up. So we just added this pillar here to the wall. I think it makes it look cooler. I'm not sure. And then, of course, we added this window. Initially, I didn't want to put any windows here because, I mean, this is your view. It's really terrible. But I think this high up window just helps with a bit of natural light and also just makes the wall less boring. All right, so next up is our kitchen. And honestly, I'm not so sure what to do. We could just go with like the regular kind of U shape going around the wall, but that seems a little bit boring. And to be honest, this is definitely too big a space for the kitchen. Not sure if this is interior or if it's supposed to be this side. I think we'll go for the old school counter. I just need to change that color though. Maybe green works. So this is unfortunately the incredibly annoying thing with not quite knowing, the exact size that you're building in with such a small grid, is that often you can end up with like a lot of this awkward space. Here it worked out well. This little extra space on the edge here looks good. But now on this side, I'm stuck with something I don't know I'm gonna fix. So to fix it, I just kind of push the building in a little bit to the one side. It kind of leaves this awkward space. That's just how it's got to be. Oh, it's happening again. All right, looks like we're gonna have to push a wall around. Maybe something like this. I do find it a little bit boring, but we'll see how it looks when I add like the stove and all those other things. Something I'm kind of concerned about is I'm worried that there's no space to make food. There is this open counter, but it's got this kind of dish rack on it, so I'm not actually sure if that will work. And this just seems way too cluttered. Oh, and I changed the walls. Right, I forgot about that. Yeah, I changed the walls. I think it looks a lot better now as well. Okay, rice cookout, juicer in. I think that looks a whole lot better. I've just added a few small items on this side. Also, just looks a lot more lived in. I think we're okay. Honestly, this wall also looks a bit empty, but perhaps that's a good thing. Too much clutter could be bad. I think it's time we move on to the next room. One thing I forgot is the trash can. Time to finish this little... Never know what to call this. The foyer, the stair room, the hallway, the entrance. Who cares? I think it's safe to say that we are finished with the ground floor. So the next thing will be the second floor. And we need to still figure out where exactly everything is going to go. Also, I kind of forgot about the rooftop thing. So we need to get a staircase that leads up to the roof. And I'd prefer not to put it inside the house. We could put it inside because maybe we could use this space here as a kind of a study, but it could still have a staircase. Believe you me, I have tried 100 billion different things. I tried putting the staircase here, definitely too small. I tried putting the staircase here, it fits with some adjustments, but overall, it looks kind of bad. I tried putting the staircase on this side, but you have to twist and turn it, and then there's no way to actually get to the bedroom except through the bathroom. And I've tried to twist and turn it on this side, but then it overlaps too much and kind of connects up with the staircase. This is the best and only solution. However, this is not a bad thing. We've got all the space we need. This little corner over here we can use for our office. We still have our bedroom and our bathroom. So I think what I'm going to do first is just kind of tackle this office and also choose flooring and wallpaper for this main room. Then all we need to do is get ourselves a door. I think I'm going to keep it consistent maybe. And there you go. Now I think we can go over to the bedroom. I think for now, I'm just going to stick with this. Now for some bedside tables. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, that's maybe a little much. I don't know. Can you change the brightness of bulbs? Light bulb. Oh, wow, you actually can. Man, the mirrors are weird. I don't really like that. The mirrors are really weird. I'm not sure why they have to look so strange. The Sims do reflections pretty well, but I'm not sure, InZOI being graphically superior, why they have mirrors like this. Maybe it's because it's graphically superior. I don't know. I think it's fair to say that we are finished here in the bedroom and can now finally move on to our bathroom. And I think after that, we might just be... No, okay, we're not quite finished. This is a little bit barren to me. This little corner here and just this little area, maybe just something up on that wall. And then, of course, we have to do the outside balconies. But for now, let's do the bathroom. You feel a little bit like the lighting is perhaps too dark in here, but I'm trying to give it this old-timey feel. And it's kind of hard to do with like the bright lights. Oh, I know what's missing. Totally forgot that. There we go. Man, that looks really cool actually. That looks really cool. I'm not gonna lie, this is a nice looking bathroom. Although still the yellow lights are maybe a bit much. I should change those. Okay, that looks much better. But now we are still missing something on this wall. And I couldn't tell you what. Dudes, no way. You can put something on the toilet. What? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we can put that there. Good stuff. All right. That looks good. Even better. I think I'm happy with the bathroom. And with, you know, the things that we have available to us, I think this looks pretty good. Okay, and lastly, we just have this corner over here. We added the window, and I think just something in the corner. That looks perfect. Honestly, I think that's good enough. We don't need to go overboard, so I think we're going to leave it as is. So we just need some lighting, and I think I'm going to just continue with the lighting from downstairs. Okay, I think the lights are good. I've also gone around and just double checked from with inside the house the brightness of all the lights. Whoops. So now I'm gonna get started on the terrace. We're gonna have to cover this thing up and decide how exactly we want it to look. Okay, so I've just gone around, done a few things. We've got this artificial grass. I would have liked to have pushed it all the way up against the wall, but then the problem is you can actually see it coming through the other side, and it's the same case for all the tiles in the house. It's most notable over here by the stairs, and I've gone around and changed some of the colors. Like this stuff still needs to change to white. I do want to make sure that there's at least like some degree of functionality outside here, and I think the dumbbells kind of add that. So ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our first build in InZOI. I have seen quite a few InZOI builds on YouTube, and I have to say I'm so impressed and a little bit embarrassed to be posting my own. But I do think spending just a little bit of time in InZOI will get the hang of it soon enough. I think there's still many things I need to learn using all the tools and mechanics correctly, but nonetheless, I had a lot of fun with our first build, and I think I'm ready to do something a little bit more challenging the next time round. So remember, please drop a like and leave a comment. But that'll be it from me for now, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Moses, getting ready to bounce.